The variety of issues that come up on these calls never ends. That is spectacular. Keeps it interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Missy. John Lavenia here with you for our awesome Friday the 18th Mastermind session. It's been a busy morning already for me. It sounds like it's been a busy one for Missy. I haven't heard from Catherine yet or Lindsay. By the way, those of you who don't know Lindsay, let me just tell you how awesome Lindsay is.
Yes.
Lindsay, I've known Lindsay for years. In fact, she acknowledged me for saying her name right. So many people say Lindsay. It's not Lindsay. Yeah, that's right.
Well, they spell it with an E.
Right.
Nobody spells it A-wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And Daisy's here, right? There you go. But the thing is, like, attention to details. I guess we're going to talk about that a little bit today since it just came up for me. See, just seeing Lindsay's name reminded me of a topic, attention to details. Because look, well, we'll get into this in just a minute. Hold on a second here. Let me first tell you what's going on today. Today is a great day because it is Friday the 18th, which means we have Be Heard coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. In which case, I would love to hear from some of you. If you've got some ideas you want to share with me or questions, it's open forum, right? We just kick around whatever's on your mind at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's how we like to end our week here. So I will be there for any of you who want to participate. I will likely be ready to drop at that point because my calendar up until that point, it is what it is. But anyway, join me for that if you'd like. Back to the idea. It is Fun Friday. So I got to start with a joke or something here. We have an intimate crowd, so I don't see any dogs, cats. Well, Catherine's probably got a cat somewhere. But a joke perhaps. Daisy, I haven't heard from you in a while. Do you have a joke for me? Come on, Daisy. We're all eyes are on you. Daisy's muted. She's probably in a public setting where she can't unmute. That's the thing. But she's tuning in live nonetheless. So glad you're here. All right. I tell you guys. One. Yeah, come on.
Did you hear about the cat that swallowed a ball of wool?
No.
She had mittens.
Okay. Good stuff. I heard a joke from this Mexican guy. He was on our shuttle bus heading to San Antonio Airport. And so nobody get offended, right? It's Mexican jokes. And he said, what do you call a Mexican who can't find his car? Carlos. Right. There you go. He had some other ones too. Okay, let's get serious. So attention to detail was the thing that came up for me today. So we just came back from having an interview, a parent and student and administration interview with this school that looks like we're going to enroll my daughter in. And one of the things that they're interested in is, who is this family that, is showing up here that wants to enroll their child? Would they be a good fit for the school? And also, what are the, the aptitudes and qualifications and standards that this child has experienced up to this point, right? So there's a testing process. And so one of the things that we noticed that as adults and also as observing my daughter, one of the things that I notice is that I tend to notice a lot of stuff. Whereas other people, I've noticed that they tend to not notice a lot of stuff. Okay, so and this is a silly little example. Okay, but have a look at this. All right, so one of my daughter's chores is to feed the dogs. Okay, and because dogs eat food, you see, they also drink water, and so I've had to remind her multiple times to feed the dogs. Oh, I did feed the dogs, and then I walk past the dog bowls, and there's no water. I'm like, all right, so feed and water the dogs. I mean, you're this close. If it was a rattlesnake, it would have bit you. That's how close you were to the water bowls, and you didn't notice. Okay, so and we could take this to other examples as well, right? Where, and some of you may have experienced this, where you're looking for something and it's kind of like right there, you just didn't see it. This is why, by the way, I have things in their place, right? Because I don't want to spend even a split second looking for my stuff, right? If I know I'm working, I'm in action, I'm in motion, then I don't want to break that flow by, oh, now where's my stuff, right? I need my tools, my pen, my whatever, right? I know where my stuff is. So this makes for good efficiency and speed and getting, from, starting line to the finish line with each individual action, keeping those actions efficient. Okay, so that's for me, right? That's one thing where I know that because I'm also susceptible to what's one example? Butter. Where's the butter? I open the refrigerator. Where the hell's the butter around here? And it's just right there, like just on the side. I didn't see it because I didn't put it there. Okay, so how does this relate to what we do? Hi, Mandy. How does this relate to what we do in our daily methods of operations and business and stuff like that? How does attention to detail translate into, let's say, human interactions? Okay, I gave you one example already. I know Lindsay's name. I didn't just see Lindsay. I saw Lindsay because I looked, right? But let's say that I'm meeting someone online, which is how a lot of us do business here in the modern age, right? So here we are online, and I'm going to meet with this client. Okay, what's the most important thing to know about any client, customer, prospect, lead? What's the most important thing to know?
Their name.
There you go. What's their favorite word? Their name. Okay. What else? If there's any history or account history or notes, or maybe they've put in an application about, I'm interested in such and such. All of that data is really good to know. Now, attention to those details, right? Even if it's just their name, and I get to deal with people all over the world, right? So I get lots of different inputs in terms of like how names are pronounced and stuff. And to the astonishment of many people, I get their names right on the first try, with the exception of Ivier, who I called Ivy for a month until she finally corrected me. Well, thank you. Thank you for enlightening me. Finally, I look like an idiot over here calling you Ivy, right? So now, of course, we all know and love Ivier. But that was one detail that I didn't get. So what I'll do when I'm meeting someone, they've got like an exotic name, at least in my perspective, exotic. For them, it's like an everyday thing in India or whatever. But hey, am I saying your name right? Right? Well, yeah, you are. Yeah, that's great. Oh, yeah. Well, I've hung around a few ashrams in my time. I know how to say Indian words and stuff. So that's fun, right? A little bit of common ground. But then back onto the, what are the other details, right? What's their history up to this point? What do they want? Why are we meeting in the first place? All these little things that if we know that going in, and if we keep that in our view, right? Don't lose the butter. Okay. Keep looking at the butter. When we keep that in our view, what it does for me, and I think this will serve you, because I know we've got people who are also engaged in, whether it's, direct sales or dealing with a vendor, sourcing products, dealing with clients, like Mandy with her reporting, right? And all this, there is you get a certain amount of credibility and you build a certain amount of trust simply by remaining focused on the other person and what they want. So I have, in fact, you know what? This guy might walk through the door at any minute. I think he's on his way to my house right now. Anybody know who Glenn Henderson is? He's here. He's here in Clearwater. And so we had lunch and dinner yesterday. Glenn's a bit of a foodie, so there's always going to be food when Glenn shows up. But him and Shannon were, meeting last night on some business stuff. I think she's being interviewed today for Glenn's TV show. But he could come through the door here at any minute. But he was in the house last night, and they were having some wine out by the hot tub, and I was busy. I was with clients, right? And I didn't even know he was here. I heard some noises or whatever, but I didn't even know he was here because I was so focused on that client. Here's the thing, guys, and this is my way, and it works for me and for pretty much everybody who's willing to adopt it and assimilate this. When I'm talking with Catherine, nobody else in the world exists at that moment. It's Catherine, Catherine, Catherine. It's all for Catherine. I do not disperse my attention. Now, if the aliens landed and the roof blew off the building or something, I would notice. But short of that, I don't even notice. It's like it's all 100%. This is like the only other person on the planet right now because I'm working with Catherine, right? So that's just one example. Can you do that? And is it right for you to do that? I'm talking about communicating with a person now, but also in these other areas of your life. Can you notice the details to the degree where you can get so focused on them that you develop distinctions that you wouldn't normally have if your attention was dispersed? In other words, you've got deliberate fixation on a specific outcome that you're looking to cause or co-create if you're working with somebody like a client or a business partner or whatever, an outcome that you're so focused on that it takes you less time to do so because you're not dispersing your attention. Here's the side benefit of all this, by the way, is that when I'm talking with Catherine or Lindsay or Bob down the street or whoever it happens to be, and I'm really focused on them and not dispersing my energy, I get a completely unfair advantage. You want to know what that unfair advantage is? The unfair advantage is I can hear the whole conversation. It's not just the words. I can hear between the lines, regardless of the words. Now, granted, I didn't just show up yesterday, right? I've been practicing communication skills. I've taken countless courses on this stuff. Fine, all right, but there is a large portion, and the general consensus is 93% of communication is not the words, not here's the parlance that's being used. It's the physiology, it's the voice inflections, it's the body language, right? So it'd be a pretty good idea to pay attention to those details. I mean, if all I'm getting, if I'm reading if I'm just listening literally to your words, if all I'm getting is 7% and I'm neglecting the other 93%, this is why people, I think, struggle with sales and marketing and stuff like that, right? Is because they're only getting a tiny little piece of the communication. Where's the details? Where's the distinctions? Another way to look at this would be the difference between an amateur, a good example would be tennis. I think we've brought this example up before, but tennis, all right? So I suck at tennis, okay? I think it's fun. I get the racket, this ball. Usually they're flat. We need new balls. These balls. Why do tennis balls get flat all the time? Mandy, you're from England. You must know about this, right? So the Wimbledon, right? The tennis. I don't know, but here's this ball, and like we're running around, we're hitting the ball. We get a couple of volleys, and the ball goes flying. I suck. Okay, but it's good exercise, and it's fun. We're getting some sun. Okay, now take who's the sisters, Venus or something, Serena, right? The professional expert level, if you ask me who's the best tennis player, I'd probably say John McEnroe, right? Was that 50 years ago? I don't know. All right. I just remember growing up and hearing about John McEnroe. And this guy is like, he's a beast, man. He throws his racket. He gets pissed off. I'm like, yeah, that guy's playing tennis for real. Okay. But what is the difference between this John and that John or Serena or somebody? They can see things that I can't see. They've got details like speed of ball, trajectory, velocity, vectors, right? I mean, they could see stuff and respond and react to it in a way that in like millionths of the amount of time that it would take me to do that. They've also got distinctions and understanding about how their body works. Like how long does it take to get that leg moving in that direction versus that direction? And they may not be sitting there, with all these considerations about it, but they've done it so much, like we were talking about yesterday, they've become unconsciously competent. But they wouldn't be competent if they hadn't already collected and had attention on and the ability to discern these little details, which most people can't even see. I can't see the friggin' ball. If McEnroe was serving the ball to me right now at 150 miles an hour, or however fast that ball is going, it's past me before I even saw it. But as a professional, I see it just fine. In fact, I returned it just fine, not a problem. That was an easy one. Details, right? And the ability to not disperse one's attention and energy on things which matter least. So in that conversation with Bob, the client, the entirety of my attention and intent was on getting him what he wants. And I know what he wants because I heard him, right? Whether it's in the, he applied for some, consultation, or he, or just in conversation. So what's going on with you? How's that working out for you? Right? There's questions you can ask without seeming, like you're interrogating someone. Okay. But to draw out, what are we really talking about here? What's really happening? Right. Now, the other side of that, and this wasn't designed to be a sales training today, although I think this will serve you all very well. Let's say I'm Missy. Okay. And I'm talking with a potential client who I'm looking to convert, right, from raw public lead, prospect, whatever, into buyer, participant, whatever the end result is there, right? People are willing to open up more to Missy because of her authenticity. So not only can you hear them better, okay, but they are willing for you to hear them more when they don't suspect you. In other words, there's not like all these other agendas going on. So the moment you get in communication with someone, they should know, if they have ears to hear in any way, if they're not just 100% cynical and skeptical and everything, they should know who they're talking to, somebody who's listening to them. Our session this afternoon, be heard, right? Well, why is that even on the calendar? Because John apparently wants to hear from you, right? We want to have a conversation. And people like to be heard. But by who? Now, if I was someone who was less trustworthy, lower credibility, someone who you didn't see as an ally, people ringing me right now. Okay, someone who you didn't see as an ally or a trusted advisor, or whatever labels you'd like to put on whatever our relationship is, then you'd be less interested in me. You'd be less interested in sharing, some of those, things, considerations, ideas, problems, thoughts, right? So again, we've got to show up as that trusted advisor, as that person who could be considered someone would be good to go for counsel, right? Good counselor. So this comes down to a saying: the way to have a friend is to be a friend. All right. So what does a friend do? Is a friend aware of your details? We're talking about attention to details. Yeah, sure. Right. I call you a friend because I know stuff about you, and we've got some differences too, but we've got lots of things, at least in terms of, purpose and, life, right? That we're in resonance, right? Harmonious vibration. Okay. Well, we wouldn't have that if we didn't at least know something about each other. So the way to have a friend is to be a friend. Hey, Edward. I heard Edward's microphone. I didn't hear Edward. I heard a chipmunk. Oh, hey, Edward, I'm actually going to have to mute your microphone. Okay. But the way to have a friend is to be a friend. Okay. And the way to have a successful communication with someone, as the old saying goes, 2 ears, 1 mouth, is to listen to the details. I've mentioned, excuse me, I mentioned the book in passing once or twice, Power versus Force by David Hawkins, The Hidden Determinants of Human Behavior. So, and it talks about, in his own way, how people actually make decisions. And it's not what they say. It's not the words coming out of their mouths. Okay. It's more about their chronic emotional state. and he wasn't the first guy to write about this, nor the most powerful. If you want to really dig in, check out L. Ron Hubbard. He went like way deep on this stuff, and like really got to the core of it. But there's a lot to study there. I will tell you that. The advantage that you can have by not only freeing up enough of your own attention and and becoming interested in other people, so the advantages that you will have there will also translate into how you're able to attract and serve other people in a way that they may not have suspected. To bring this really close to home, I mean, if you just look at how a lot of our relationships have developed here in this group, right? We've got people, some brand new members. We got some who've been hanging around with us for a year, right? But there is that whole relationship, however it occurs to you, that whole relationship is based on trust, credibility, common purpose and values and things like that. So if you show up in the lives of others as someone who has their best interest in mind, well, how much more readily are they going to cooperate with you? Notwithstanding rebellious children, right? So yeah, we have their best interest in mind, but still they want to protest sometimes, which is good, right? Let's get a good protest going here, right? Sometimes we'll do that with our daughter. It's like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. What else? What else is wrong with this? Well, let's talk the whole thing out so we're complete, right? Maybe you're right. Hopefully I'm making sense. Am I making any sense? Somebody save me if I'm not. I see Virginia's here, Mandy, Missy. Look at all these awesome people. iPad's here. Who is iPad? Oh my goodness. Hi, iPad. Of course, Edward's here. So are you able to put attention on who's that?
It's Giovanna.
Hey, Giovanna.
I don't have my computer.
Apparently not. Okay. So I recognized your voice though. All right. So iPad equals Giovanna, at least for the next half hour. So anyway, back to the what are we talking about here? We're talking about attention to details and how that serves you, making you more able and to have discernment and distinctions, to see the little details which really matter. Okay, like how to say somebody's name, to take it down to basics. But then it also serves those people you're interacting with, and keep in mind, whether we're talking about B2B business contracts or whatever, everyone was a people before they were the CEO or something, right? So we're all just people. That's who you're selling, right? And then whatever their title is, that's fine. Okay, but it serves them as well, because now they can with confidence actually tell you what they want and how to serve them. Guys, this is like enormously powerful. So be careful with this. I suppose this could be used for nefarious purposes as well. I don't suspect anyone here of looking to take advantage of people or whatever. But truly, this is the core, or I would say part. I'm going to give you the entirety of communication in 20 minutes, but this is a part of the core of being successful, communicating an idea and receiving ideas from others to the point where you have influence. The next book we're going to be reading, after we're done with the 8 Pillars of Prosperity by James Allen. So our next book for the book club is going to be Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff. And we're going to go down this rabbit hole of posture and communications in such a way that you are very attractive to your ideal customer, your ideal target audience, which means what? You're repulsive to the not ideal, which is a beautiful time saver, right? I mean, you're going to have to polarize to an extent, right? If you're vanilla, you're ignored. So you're outrageously, irresistibly attractive here, and you're repulsive here. Guess how much time you're spending here? None. Fantastic. I can't be all things to all people, right? A lot of people are trying to do that, though. Does that sound like we're digging into details now? No, we're being vanilla. There's so many more details. Not that I don't like vanilla ice cream. I do. Okay. But there's so many more details in Rocky Road. Or can anybody guess what my favorite ice cream is? Tell you what, if you can guess my favorite ice cream, put it in the chat and I'm going to give you something. I don't know what. I'll figure something out. If anybody knows what my favorite ice cream is. All right. Rocky Road. No, Virginia. It is definitely not Rocky Road. But there's a lot of details in that. I was using that as an example. All right. Who wants to talk? Please come on out. I've been talking enough. Mint chocolate is my least favorite, Lindsay. My daughter's favorite is mint chocolate chip. That is my least favorite. So vanilla. No, not vanilla, Missy. Come on, you guys. Somebody unmute your microphone. We could talk this out. You guys like trivia. It's like Jeopardy. Hey, Missy, come on out.
I didn't hear one word you said because I got a call from a client who
Oh,
couldn't stop talking. But I heard the last part and I heard the beginning part. And
okay.
attention to detail, and attention to the small details, and communicating ideas makes you influence. It's, I just lost the thought I was going to say because this
That's okay.
guy
Let's
got
go to
me.
Giovanna, and then it will
Sorry.
magically appear right back into your mind like that. So Giovanna had a hot
No.
mic. Now there she is.
No, I was just thinking of the favorite ice cream.
Oh, okay. What's your guess?
No, lemon. I mean, it's just my favorite ice cream. I've been making lemon with crunched up peanut brittle in it. It's really good.
Wow.
It's
So
really good.
is it a lemon ice or is it actually a creamy like ice cream?
It's like ice cream
Oh,
with a
wow.
lot of lemon and
Okay.
then little pieces of peanut brittle.
Got it. Got it. Daisy says chocolate chip. No. All right. Good times. Is that all you wanted to share, Giovanna? Or was there more?
Yeah. I was an accident actually unmiking
Oh,
myself.
okay. Well, thank you for that. Now we know. Look, guys, this is good. This is good trivia, right? This is attention to detail. If I showed up in Giovanna's world, right, with a handful of lemon ice cream with peanut brittle in it, which, by the way, I don't know that it's possible for me to show up with that. That sounds like something you make at home, right? You don't go buy that, right? Does anybody? I mean, it sounds to me, it sounds kind of disgusting, but you know, Giovanna likes it. They sell that in stores. Lemon ice cream with peanut brittle. Oh my goodness. Catherine, come on out, Catherine. Catherine got it.
Did I? I was thinking Italian ice cream. What else is there? Pistachio.
Oh, Spumoni.
Pistachio. Oh my goodness. Catherine wins the prize. Oh, I see Bob and Missy. Carvel, flying saucers, Spumoni. Mandy says strawberry. Pistachio, or as they say in Italy,
Right.
pistacchio. Pistachio. Yes.
Now
Was
I
there
forgot what
something
else
more?
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Now I
Okay.
forgot what else I was going to say. So
Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Lindsay, you have a hot mic?
Oh, no, I was just thinking it must be an Italian thing. I don't think I've ever tried pistachio.
Well, you live in Alabama. They never even heard of a pistachio down
I
there.
think I've heard of it, but I've never eaten.
Okay.
Not pistachios, but
How do you pay attention to details when 4 people canceled their appointments without notice? They picked the date, the time. And so I'm trying to move on and I keep having this in my head. They don't respond to anything. It's been days and days. They
Okay.
picked the time. They were excited. So what details did I miss?
Right. So in this case, the communication that you're getting is that I'm not as interested as you would like me to be.
Why did
That's-
they pick a date and a time? Why did they?
Okay. So then the other communication is I don't keep my word.
Oh,
Okay. So then, I mean, if you can survey the whole scene, right? So here is someone who doesn't do what they say they're going to do. They think that they think my time is as worthless as theirs. Oh, okay. So then what can we do? Not to be snarky or, confrontational, but what can we do knowing that that's the communication you just received? Okay. Somebody didn't show up, silence, right? Whatever it is. What can you do to impinge back again, to volley, so to speak?
I
'Cause it's
said,
like
are
a
you
chess-
okay? Is everything okay?
You could,
Did you get
could,
busy?
could.
Can we do another time?
Right, right. You could do stuff like that. You could show up as, and you do this rapid fire, right? You might have 20 people who you're dealing with, or 100, right, who fall into that category. So you're dripping on them, okay, but you're doing so in a way that communicates that you're interested in helping them, but helping them do what? Get what they said they wanted in the first place. If we're talking about leads, well, leads for what? What's the offer, right? And then you could remind them of, here's what we want to show you, and here's all the benefits. Again, people need to hear stuff like 50,000 times, which I forget all the time. So thank you for bringing that up, Missy, because you tell me something once, and if it's important to me, I'm gonna not only remember it, but I'm gonna act on it. And if it's not, buffet, take what you like and leave the rest, whatever. All right. So the point is, you didn't even get them to the buffet table yet. So we need to impinge on them and remind them, because they didn't hear you the first 15 times. This is what is waiting for you behind curtain number 2. And when we get into Oren Claff, which I think you're already reading the book, you're already reading Pitch Anything.
Yes.
I know you've got a copy. Okay. I was
got it.
about to send you a copy,
It's
by the
right
way.
there. It's right.
Right. And now I've got to send Catherine a copy of that book too, because she just won the pistachio contest. But the which Virginia also suspected and erroneously texted the word pistachio to Catherine instead of me. And therefore Virginia is the rightful winner. Oh, Virginia, the injustice. What a world. What a world. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, why does McDonald's still advertise? I mean, does anybody not know what McDonald's is? Like, if you really want to eat that stuff, can you just drive to McDonald's? You need to see the ad again.
Is that really?
No, tell them
No.
again, tell them again, tell them again, top of mind awareness, because when you're driving down the road and finally you've got your attention on your empty stomach, and there's Burger King right there, and there's McDonald's right there, they want you to pull in there. Okay, so food, folks, and fun. Is that still a slogan? Are they still running that deal? Food, folks, and fun? Or is that 20 years ago? I don't know. You guys remember the old Toyota commercials? Oh, what a feeling, right? And what was the one before that? You asked for it, you got it, Toyota.
Toyota.
Yeah. You asked for it, you got it. I had a teacher, and she was a bitch. She she would be rather serious with the students. She's a music teacher too. We're there to learn music. She's getting all serious and cranky with us. And one time she punished the whole class, and she said, "You asked for it, you got it, Toyota." Oh man, I'll never forget her.
Oh, wow.
All right, guys, who else? We got Missy. Did you remember what you were going to ask, or was that it?
That was it.
Okay, good. So there is, we could definitely take this further, and we will when we get into Oren Claff stuff. But the idea of you maintaining a high level of interest in delivering those benefits, regardless of the reactions here, because there is a process of belief and emotion that people go through when they're moving from ignorance to enlightenment, in terms of like a sales cycle. Okay. And part of that is the experience of resistance, refusal, and stuff like that. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talked about persistence as one of the 13 principles that every single, top producer had, right? Was persistence. As that relates to what we do in the business world, you can see that persistence in terms of perhaps this particular customer who isn't a customer yet. It might take 6 months. Okay. But your level of intention and interest stays high, even though theirs is low. And you bring them up that gradient to the point where they can hear you. Okay. That's why McDonald's keeps advertising. That's why I keep sending emails. Right. I've got people on an email list that have never bought anything. And in years, they keep getting the emails. I don't send a whole lot of emails, right? And of course, a lot of people unsubscribe as well. I'm just not interested. I don't even know what this is. I'm just not interested in anything. Okay, fine. So they're out. We didn't gel or whatever. Okay, but here's all these thousands of other people. And then, 2 years later, here comes, Bob or whatever, and he buys everything. He's been getting my emails for years. But now he's interested. Why? Well, for his reasons. I don't know. Maybe he just got fired from his job, or maybe he had a fight and kicked the cat or something. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. All I know is that I'm interested in and intentional on delivering the message to Bob. And now he's ready. Finally. Right. And people could say that same thing about me and about you. Right. My goodness, it was right here all along. How deaf do you have to be? Right? Yeah, me. Right. You point the finger, 3 point back. Me. Right? Because just wasn't interested or just didn't have. I mean, you only have so many attention units, right? You're going to spend them here, spend them there. It's not an infinite supply. You got so many each day. Choose, right? So yeah, I chose different things. One of my friends, Mark, who recently just escaped from LA. He just moved here to Clearwater as well. He brilliant pianist. Amazing, right? He does gigs like professional, plays at the Waldorf and the events and things like this. And what was my point in bringing up Mark? He's got attention to details on things that most people wouldn't be as interested as he is, right? He can do something with that instrument because he's got those details, he's got those distinctions, he's got that competence to a point where the dilettante, the weekender, the hobbyist, yeah, it might be nice to play piano. Okay, well, that wasn't his consideration. He was inspired by Chick Corea, who just passed. Was it last year? The late Chick Corea. That's who inspired him. Right? He heard Chick playing and it was like, my goodness, listen to that. Right? So whatever it is that fires us up, but know that that's different for everybody, and that's going to happen at different times for different people. I think the tragedy is that when you are at that precipice, when you're like, man, this is screaming at me, I could go and I could run, I could do this, I could be great with this, but then the delay, all the considerations and justifications and reason why, no, maybe I shouldn't, right? All the maybes, right? So that you don't engage in the details and become great. I think that's the tragedy for a lot of people. So then if we're showing up as messengers in the lives of others, whether we're talking about sales or, counseling a child or, putting your message in front of your audience, right? If we're doing that, knowing that everyone else is on their own timelines and everybody's different, right? That's why we've got to maintain that high level of intention and interest in delivering what we know we can deliver in terms of benefits, regardless of the individual responses of those people who are at whatever stage in the process they are in life, in the sales cycle, in whatever. You need to be that rock, right? You need to be a professional at what you do, not a weekender. So choose. What is it you're going to be friggin' awesome at? And it could be a couple of things, right? It's not like my entire life is dedicated just to one action. Although balance is that elusive thing that I've heard about. It's kind of like a unicorn or something. I heard about it somewhere. I'll get to that eventually, hopefully, maybe. Any other thoughts on this? Thank you, everyone, for your participation today. We have Missy, Catherine, Daisy, Edward, iPad, Lindsay, and Virginia. All right. Well, then let's go ahead and wrap up. Again, I will be here at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you guys have any ideas you want to share with me, I will see you on that channel. And in the meantime, make it a great day and pay attention, right? Because you deserve to. You deserve to get those little details and be able to work with them and have a greater effect because you see more. You see it, right? I'll see you guys real soon.